Yeah, I think we're live now.
Yeah.
Live on Facebook. Yeah.
Woo. For me,
Nice. Your
hi.
first time?
First time ever being live. Yeah.
Yeah, I love having first time experiences like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Laura, I asked to have this call with you because you joined my sadhana daily for I don't know how long, but I think really a long time. And during sadhana, we never have really time to really talk because we just go into the practice. So I felt like it would be a good idea to have this talk and to share why you join, what it brings you, and yeah, like this experience to also get to know you a little bit better, and maybe you have some questions for me. So let's start.
Yeah. Great. Super nice. Yeah. Because I think I joined in February or so. So that's already like, yeah, 4 months or 5 maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
amazing.
beautiful. But yeah, my name is Laura de Jong. I
Yeah.
am based in Netherlands. And I actually decided at the end of last year to start my Kundalini yoga teaching degree.
Mm-hmm.
And via that, actually, because I was away from home at the moment, I was looking into things I could already start online or so. And then I found the, the White Tantra event in the
Uh-huh.
Netherlands. And
Yeah.
that's how I found you, because this daily sadhana originated from as a
Great.
preparation for the White Tantric
Great.
day
Great.
event. And
Yeah.
then I think I joined already during those preparations, but I remember that I was thinking, how can you do this every day?
I don't
And
know.
so I joined a couple of times then. Um, but I was like, oh wow. I even started to doubt myself. Oh, did I make the right decision to do this Kundalini study? Um, but then a little bit later, so that was in February. Yeah, I thought I would just go for it. Also from the Netherlands, doing the live sessions was much easier, of course. And yeah, that and then I just fell in love with it, the impact that it
Uh,
brought in my life, and yeah,
Amazing.
that was the start at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did that. We started, I already did I think I started in November with a
Yeah.
personal client. I did a 40-day sadhana with this, the same Kriya. We did like the Awaken the 10 Bodies. And then because I've been doing sadhanas many times, but this consistent doing it online every day at the same time was really like also for me like a new experience. So I did 40 days with this a client, and then I started doing it for as the preparation for the White Tantric. And then after Tantric, we continued
Yeah.
another 40 days. And I was like, we can continue. And yeah, so we still continue. And
Yeah.
yeah, the group is growing. And yeah, for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
it is um, it's like my moment with myself. I sit there. I have to be there because you know, I know people are waiting for me. So even if I feel like, oh no, I'm tired, and all these voices in your head telling you, oh, it's nice to sleep. If I
Yeah.
wake up, if I get up, if I do this, I feel so much more centered within myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like, okay, I have had my sadhana, I have had everything I needed. So whatever happens today, I had my portion,
At
and
least
I
you had
can
a strong start. Yeah.
yes, I had a good start. And
Yeah.
when you have a good start, you can deal with so much more things than
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, like get more grumpy or whatever, or if you like, you get into your negative mind and like, oh. But this helps me to stay, yeah, like in peace with myself, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you immediately have an accomplishment Like at
Yeah.
7 a.m. in the morning, you have reached already like a big thing, you know?
Yeah, you're done for the day, right? Otherwise, you have this feeling, when am I going to do my Kriya? When am I going to do my meditation? That's already done. So, and
Yeah.
then, yeah, because for me, after the sadhana at 7, I have to wake up my kids to get them ready for school. And then
Hmm.
I feel like, okay, I'm already, yeah, set myself. And yeah, it's a beautiful experience. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it impacts like the whole day also for me. Like, I just feel so much clearer in the morning, and already in the morning I have conscious and subconscious, I think, already thinking about the things that I have to do in a day, and I feel that they are so much more prioritized, um, because I know then also what is important to do
Yeah.
and pick up,
Right.
and immediately the mind gets, already for me at least, slows down, because when I get up, or like when I'm awake like nonstop. Like there is not like, oh, still sleeping, falling back to sleep. No, no. When I'm awake, I'm awake. Or
You're
then
just
I'm
a
on.
switch on and off.
So
Great.
with sadhana, it helps me also just to start my day a bit more peaceful.
Mm, haha. Yeah, I can
So that's
imagine.
also very helpful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, like, so I started my first study weekend of the Kundalini yoga course in April. Yes. And then for the first time also I gave my first class there. And then I think it was only shortly after that you went to your retreat in Sri Lanka,
Right.
and you were
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I need someone to take over this for me for 2 weeks." And yeah, wow. I'm still very grateful for that opportunity, that I was the one who was taking over you there. And
yeah. You
then,
did it.
oh yeah, just did it. And I then I'm like, wow, so much more gratitude I have for you for having that responsibility every morning to sit there, to start your Zoom, to have everything ready for us, and even you have different music every day. And because only when you do it yourself, you know how much work it is, kind of, or also how much more centered you need to be before you can share it, and you
Hmm.
deepen your practice so much yourself as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And I think the combination for me and sadhana, and that tip you gave me back then of doing you have to help me with the pronunciation, but the Shabi Kriya,
The Shabbat. Yeah, the Shabbat Kriya.
yeah,
Sleep
for
deep.
good deep sleep in the evening.
Yeah.
So I do that
Yeah.
like every day, nonstop, from that moment
Uh-huh.
you gave me that tip. And I think
Ah,
because of
yeah.
that combination of the two,
Right.
I need less sleep
Right. Yeah, I
because my
think so.
quality improves.
Yes, yes, yes. Because it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. It's not that, for me, it would be better if I would go to bed a little bit earlier, but you know, my kids go to bed and then I feel like, no, I have some time for myself or I
Yeah,
have other things to do. So, but it doesn't matter what time I go to bed, I do wake up and I sit there. And then afterwards, I can go back to sleep or sometimes even a little bit during, but that's, yeah, I do my best
yeah,
to wake up and stay awake and be there and, yeah, share the teachings, share the practice. And for me, the most, yeah, beautiful part is actually the beginning when we do the Waheguru. Not
mhm,
so many
mhm,
people join me at that time, but
mhm, yeah,
actually this is for me, when you tune yourself, when you reconnect to the part that is within you, that is so much bigger than you, that part that's been there for ages, and that's you can I really release my pain. I give it back. I say, okay, really guide me, and I feel I'm so guided. So that 10 minutes of chanting Waheguru, that's helps
yeah,
me to set for the entire rest of it. So many people
Yeah.
come to do the yoga exercise, and of
Yeah.
course we need to stretch the body and we need to do all of that. But that first 10 minutes, that's really what I
Mm-hmm.
always feel. It's so special, and all like it's like a really like a reset, and it's I can feel I'm it's charging myself. You know, we need to charge our mobiles and our laptops. For me, sitting like that, praying, and it's like I really feel like I plug myself in to read like the charging of the universal energy. This is how it feels to me. Yeah,
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
yeah.
That I
So when you
remember.
have never done that before and you see me sing like that, or maybe even the Zoom doesn't always get the right sound, but that's always I say, you know, you chant your own version of your connection, but make that connection with that part of you that's within you that was always there, and you know that's guiding you, that's lifting you up, that's really, you know, if we make connection to our own source, this, and then you know when you're connected to source, you're so powerful and you can do so much, and it helps you to give your the clarity, and then you know, and then the pain and the doubts and everything is goes away at least a little bit. You know, it's never going all the way, I think, but at least a little, and it helps to, yeah, tune. So I love the
Mhm.
this is my personal favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Then it's also indeed feeling really for you, because then you're also there for us and for all the other people, um, at least after the japji. But even
Yes.
for the japji, it's like, but that's also like sort of a meditation for me, kind of like,
It
because it
is.
like I'm still learning it, so I could not speak it out loud yet. So it's really impressive if I hear you speak the sentences so quick, because I'm like, geez, you need to be so focused to do that so quick, you know? And so like one point is concentration, I would call it, because even for me to follow, sometimes I'm, oh wait, that was already the end of the sentence. We're already at the next sentence, and then I'm like, geez, yeah, the next level.
Yeah. Well, it's practice. You know, if you practice every day, it goes
Yeah.
easier and easier. I remember when I heard for the first time Japji, I was like, what is this? I didn't hear, you know, some words sound a little the same like Dutch. And I was like, what? I'm never going to make this.
No,
And
same.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is really like, and then few sentences I could remember, and also like some of them are used in, yeah, like they are this to say this, it's used in a mantra, so you
Mhm.
understand part of that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, slowly when you listen to it regularly, then there's kind of a new pathway in your brains that open up, and then one day, yeah, you learn. And I just did another course with my sister-in-law. She taught us how to pronounce the
Right.
japji
Yeah.
like properly, or
Yes.
properly, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned again a lot from that, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I know how to recite it by head, but also like sometimes I also get lost somewhere in the space or wherever. So even if I read it from the booklet, I also, because I took Amrit, so I don't only do the Japji, but in the evening I do like the Reras, which is an evening prayer.
Mhm.
And part of Reras and part of Japji are the same. So
Mhm.
some parts that
Oh
I'm
yeah.
reading it, and then in my mind, I hear like the one from the evening. So then I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, this is from the morning. Oh, okay. So if you hear me mix it up, I'm sorry for the mistakes. I'm doing my best to yeah, have the respect for the sacred words. But yeah, we are learning, and this is
Mhm.
also what I this is, I
Yeah.
think, also my my style of teaching, I don't know, but we are allowed to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we are a teacher and we are a person, and we
Yeah.
do our best and we show up and we do with our love. And if we can look at each other with compassion, and it's brave. You said I
Yeah.
would do it, so I trusted you would do it, so that's
Yeah.
all I could do. And you did it.
Yeah.
And if you feel the call,
Mm-hmm.
then you do it. Same, if you feel the call to join us in the in the mornings, then you come. We cannot push anyone. It's just, your soul will push you. Your soul will wake
Yeah.
you up. And
Yeah.
there are many people that wake up in the morning early and like, I can't sleep. So if you can't sleep, you can join us, and you can sleep in the sadhana as well. It doesn't matter. But at least you have a conscious,
Yeah.
way of waking up, and you're not like, oh, I need to sleep. No, whatever
Mm-hmm.
happens, happens.
Yeah.
And really, to me, this whole journey is about listening to your own intuition more and more and more, and really dare to do that. And not to all the voices that we hear all the time around us and like, oh, I should do this, I should do that. No. If your soul tells you to wake up, then you do it and you feel it and have the experience. And if you feel like, okay, this is nothing, then, other
Yeah.
priorities, it's also fine. I just made my commitment to be there every
Yeah.
day. And it's really, and I prayed that I would never be by myself. And so far, I
Never
haven't been,
happened. No.
never, it
No.
never happened.
True.
So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that,
Yeah.
and I'm really grateful for all the participants that joined me.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you feel the call to join us as well, I will put the link in below, and then you will become part of the WhatsApp group, because in that group I will add all the links, and also I share my daily forecast in that, because that's also something I do in the sadhana, just to set the energy and to
Mm-hmm.
to talk about the energies of the day, to know what kind of, it's like the weather forecast kind of, and but then energetically. And for me, I started doing that because this numerology system, the Akara numerology, I find it such a powerful system to get to know yourself, and to
Yeah.
understand what kind of things are happening, and to make the connections. And yeah, the one day we feel a little bit more like that, and the other day like that. And if you know about that, you can go through your day with more consciousness and more compassion. And
Mm-hmm.
the more compassion we can have for ourselves and for those around
Yeah.
us, I think this is what we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely helps. Like in the beginning, I have to admit, like the numerology, you really have to already be there or so. Like it really helps if you did do the chant of Waheguru and joined the Japji, and then the numerology really gets in, immediately. But otherwise, you need like a minute to like more, at least to get on the mat. But what I then noticed after I took over those 2 weeks from you, or the daily practices when I joined the Japji, then your numerology is just like it just makes sense,
Ah,
just like, oh wow. And then it also has these practical touches, um, and also setting your own intention has been really powerful for me. Like even if it's like in collaboration with yours, or some add-on on myself, but it's really also throughout the day, like subconsciously it pops up, and then sometimes I get conscious of it, like, oh wow, yeah, and then
yeah.
I can live via my intention more in the day, which has
Mm,
been also powerful for me. The only
of
question
course.
for me that arises with your forecast, so I'm still like uh, mm, um, becoming more aware of everything what happens, and of course everyone is in this process of
Yeah, of
becoming more
course.
aware,
Right.
but I feel that you are like, you probably feel those smaller nuance is better, or like, but
I do my best.
yeah, but like, if you then give the forecast, and how can you then um sometimes things happen because of the forecast, sometimes you don't know, like, it's a hard way to formulate this question.
Yes, it's not like it's a prediction.
No.
No, and I also, after I give it, it goes out of my head. It's
Yeah.
not that it stays with me. It's just at the moment. And but then sometimes during the day I'm like, okay, yeah, this is, oh yeah, I remember it. Or I get messages from people like, yeah, what you said today, it
Okay.
happened, and
Oh yeah. Okay.
and or it really helped me. And for me, the way I try, at least my intention when I write them, is to really write something that will help you whenever like challenges come, that you are aware, okay, this is a challenging thing that can happen to me. And then when you already know, okay, then you can say, oh, the challenge is happening right now. Let's face it, instead of
Yeah.
that you're totally, it smacks you in you. It's my teacher, Namhari, she always says it, when you are driving in the mountains and you have these beautiful points of view, if you have a car with brakes, you can really enjoy the view. But if you don't have the brake, you're just gonna go down. And I feel this numerology forecast can be your brake, that you can really enjoy that view
Yeah.
and don't go, because what happens when we're not conscious, like our all traumas, they just, you get into something,
Hmm.
and you go and you go and you're in a train, you're even, you don't know where the brake is.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, at least this is
Hmm.
what I keep in the back of my mind when I write it, to
Hmm.
to allow them to be like a break, or to
Yeah.
kind of, okay, this is happening. Okay, so, and then I hope at least that it helps you
Hmm.
to to suit, to make it softer, because we can be so hard on ourselves, so hard in our relationships. And I think if you can connect more to your heart and to forgive and I always think, okay, what would love do?
Yeah.
And these kind of
Yeah.
questions, if we can
Mm.
ask that, if we can, then we make such a different decisions.
Yeah. So yeah, feel the love indeed, and feel the confidence in you, and then think, okay, my confidence and loving self, what would I do? Right.
Yes, yes, connect to that part, because that's
Mhm.
in you too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah, and that's
sometimes it
what,
can be a
and if you do that every day, that line, that pathway towards that part in you becomes stronger. And
yeah.
that's I think also one of the things that make this daily sadhana so powerful, because we do it every day, again and again and again. You just, you really connect
Train.
more.
You're
Yeah,
training yourself.
yes, we need to train this.
Yeah.
It's a muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we what we yeah or think about, this is what we attract, all these kind of things, and it works. It's the way it is.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
and it's the opportunity to then bring everything from a place of where you are already a bit more aware than in your day when you are less aware, typically. That helps absolutely, because on your mat you experience the same kind of challenges than in your life during the day, but they're less intense usually. Like, sometimes they can be intense even, but that's even
definitely,
then
yeah,
more of
yeah,
like a practice for you, which is great.
mm,
If you can even breathe through that, it can be as simple as that, right?
right,
It's it
yeah,
just You have to remember your breath in a challenging. It is
and
actually as simple as that if you know kind of how to
yeah,
apply it, and how to come back to yourself, right? You need to
right,
practice that as well. I didn't know
yeah.
that years ago.
No, me neither. I had two burnouts, and I was, I don't know where all the bumpy roads I went through, but still, we're learning, and yeah,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
and
And look at now. You write how many books and
yeah, I
help
wrote
so
three
many
books.
people. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was just telling you that I had a call with someone from Australia because I live in the Netherlands, and but I when I came to Kundalini Yoga in 2004, I was working at ING Bank.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
was really like stressed. I was having my second burnout, and I was like, okay, I don't think all these programs that they would think that would help me will help me. I felt I need something from myself. I need to change something within
Yeah.
me. Then it will. So I was jogging at the time, and had this voice, and it told me you have to become a yoga teacher. I was like, oh, I don't know. I really don't know.
Were you
Because
already practicing yoga then?
not really. No,
Oh.
I I was interested in spirituality. I did my thesis at OIBBO, which is like a spiritual center here in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
So I was into it, but not practicing because I was kind of also a little bit afraid of it. And but I was like, okay, yeah, then I told myself, because I can be very impulsive, I know that, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give myself half a year. If this voice is still alive within me, I will do it. And then during that half year, I broke up. I moved back to Amsterdam, and I felt like, okay, I have nothing to lose. And so that voice was still there because the body was still not happy with what I was doing. And I was Googling, and I found a Kundalini yoga teacher training. I'd never done Kundalini,
Oh
but
wow.
I liked the sound of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
sounds nice, Kundalini.
Yeah. And so it's
I was
different. Yeah.
just, I was really like, it sounds like a little dance or something. Like, I felt the good energy of it. So I wrote an email to this training, like, and explaining my story a little bit. I was like, I'm ready to do this training. And then the teacher told me, it was in December 2004. And she said, I organized this winter solstice. And I'd never heard about solstice. But so it's an event at my home, and we have dinner, and we have music, and we do some yoga. You're invited to come. I'm like, okay, good. It's nice. So, and I lived in the west of Amsterdam, and she lived in the east. So I had this bike, this folding bike, because I used to commute a lot. So I was riding my bike, and it was raining and cold, and I was there. And then I still remember that picture in my mind. I knocked on her door, and there she was. I saw this big smile and a big turban, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Where am I getting myself into? Because I had no idea. I did not do any research. I didn't know nothing about Kundalini yoga. So I entered, and they had food that I'd never eaten before, and there was mantras that I'd never heard before. And I really felt like, wow, this is crazy. And we would sit on the floor, and I was really like, oh my gosh, this is something. Because I was born and raised in the north of Holland, so really like in the upper part. And the motto is there, just be yourself and be normal. That's more than enough. So it's like,
Yeah.
so as my mind was really like, but my heart was like, sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. So I decided I'm going to follow my heart, and then she invited me to her weekly classes, so I went there. And then one day another teacher came, and he said, we also have a sadhana, and then you can come. And at that time, and we did still 2.5 hours sadhana, not at 5:30, but at 4:30,
Oh
because then
wow.
you
Yeah.
also have time to do the mantras, because
Oh
that's
yeah.
part of the sadhana as well. So I said, okay. So I would go there on my bike at 4 o'clock through Amsterdam, and I would go to the studio, and I would do it for 40 days, because he said, when you do your training, you also got to do it 40 days. So you better practice. So I was like, okay. And then I felt like, I had my concert, my whole body is tuned, and now I'm ready for the day. And then I would have so much energy. I would really feel so good. And 3 weeks after I started, my whole, like, my burnout was gone. I had like this computer disease. Everything was gone. I was like, oh, and I had suffered from it for like 3 years. I was really like, wow, this is so cool. So I joined that training, and then I started teaching my colleagues, because when you start the training, you have to learn to teach. So they just put you somewhere, and so I was teaching my colleagues, and one day it was raining really hard. I was like, let's just do it here at the office. So we just moved a little bit around, and then we did the yoga at the office. And that was like, for me, you didn't have to go anywhere. You didn't need to change your
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
Just do the exercises, close your eyes and breathe, and, move your body, and you feel so different.
Yeah.
And that's like the seed that was planted within me, like so many years ago, for the business yoga. And I've never been a teacher who has been teaching in yoga centers. I've always been a teacher who's been teaching just in life, in real life situations,
Mm-hmm.
and sharing the teachings and empowering the yogis who are already working to, you have so much tools with you.
Hmm.
Share them,
Yeah.
be the yogi at your work, because you really need it. You
Yeah.
might feel like, this is not the environment I want to be in. I can totally relate to that. But when you are the yogi at your work, the people really, really need you. And whenever, because I started also doing yoga at the office where I worked, at the
Mm-hmm.
ING bank, and my colleagues would come to me, like, with all their experiences, and, I've done, they tell me to do this, and I have this, and I could help them from my, what I learned through the yoga, so I could
Yeah.
bring them back to exercises, meditations, or just listen with an open heart to them. So, my work was so much more interesting, because I could have like a talk with a real person, instead of like a colleague that I only knew for a little bit, because we
Mm-hmm.
only worked together. So we were, yeah, and this is why also I do the teacher training to become a business yogi, to really, because you're a yogi and you're a business person, and after that training, these two parts are together and you
Yeah.
feel one again. And this is, and then you have the courage and the tools to start sharing these techniques. And you don't need, because our sadhana is from 5:30 to 7, it's an hour and a half, but you don't need that time to make an impact. You can already do something in like 3 minutes or 1 minute, or
Mm-hmm.
one breath can make a total difference.
Yeah.
And if you're aware that your presence is teaching, and your presence is what's opening the doors for you, and your presence, that's what you're working on during your own sadhana. And that's why we do the sadhana in the morning. You do it, and then your radiant body just becomes bigger, and your aura is cleaner, your arc line, everything, you're clearing up that space. And then you are just there, and things come to you. You don't need to kind of, sell, or you're there. And you just, from your heart, from your human being, you look at another human being, and you can
Yeah.
see all of them. And that's what I really, mm, what always makes me so humble. If
Mm-hmm.
people, especially in business where we have a lot of ego running around, when they can open up. And
Yeah.
I was meeting
See.
with a big CEO this weekend, and he said, I hurt so many people because of what I've done, and because of the priorities that I took, because I was selfish. That I was like, wow, if you understand that. 1 second. Jo, Teddy, pak even mijn telefoon.
Oh,
Dat is het. Yeah,
I
that
have to
was
also pause 1 second
right.
because the gardener just rang the bell. So I
Okay.
just need to tell my boyfriend that he has to answer it because I think he's not hearing that.
Okay, no problem.
One
If
sec.
there's someone live here, if you want to have a question, then you can ask it. And I will take a little sip of my tea and then we.
Hello.
Yeah, we're back.
Back again.
Yeah, no problem. That's
Took a
good.
little bit longer because I realized my boyfriend was not there. But
Okay,
I
no
had
good, no
to
problem.
give the people from the garden some water. They need some buckets to make
Yeah,
their cement.
yeah,
So a new garden.
yeah, great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, I also had some phone calls, so it's good. I see Angelique is also with us.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, we see
Another
her
person
another.
who's there almost every day. The
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah, there are some people who are really coming every day. And yesterday I also met Esther. She was
Oh,
with
good.
us. Yeah, she was at our festival
Oh,
day.
yeah.
So it was really nice to also meet the people in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, to hear, yeah, what um what it brings them. So that
Yeah.
also helps me to wake up and to just be there because I know it helps me, but then if you know it, it also helps others. It's easier, even
Mm.
easier to get out of your bed. And
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think during this whole time, I only had two times that I really, we started 5:30, and there were only two times that I really woke up at like 5:25 or so. But other than that, I was always I I I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's like something that's bigger than me. That part that's just waking me up and say, okay, you can do this.
Yeah.
Uh,
True.
yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah. So I was talking about the meeting with the
Yeah.
CEO I had,
Yeah.
and because I also wrote a book, How to Become a Conscious Leader, the five
Mm-hmm.
vital lessons CEOs can learn from a yogi to build trust and make an impact.
Mm-hmm.
A really long title, but
Yeah. Well, can you
it's-
repeat it maybe because that went
yes,
super quick?
yes. So it's how to become a conscious leader,
Mm-hmm.
and then because I I wanted to impact the CEOs, but I was not a CEO like of a big company, so I've been thinking. So the subtitle is the five vital lessons CEOs can learn from a yogi to build trust and make an impact. So
Yeah.
with that subtitle,
Yeah.
I can freely share my teachings as a yogi. And I know because I've worked with CEOs, and I also now currently I'm coaching example for people that are school directors
Yeah.
and another, so but it's so beautiful to see that when I talk to them and I work with them, when when they become more peaceful within, because sometimes what I realize in the coaching is that, as a leader, you want to do everything, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really, as a leader, you should just be the leader and have the people around you and make sure that everyone can do their task. That's your biggest task. Your biggest task is to have the vision and not to sit on everyone else's chair, because then you feel like so overwhelmed. And but that's something that's really, I learned that through organizing the Kundalini Yoga Festival. I did that since 2028, and I was I was just, yeah, from 2004, I was like into the Kundalini yoga. And the first festival I went to was in 2005 in France. And, at that time, still 2,000, 3,000 yogis came together, and you do 3 days of White Tantric yoga, and people from all over Europe and, yeah, everywhere they come. So I love going to these gatherings, and I can really recommend you go there one
Yeah.
day.
I
It is
bought my ticket last month.
you're going good. Yeah, so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience to be with so many people that are like walk in the same path of life, and to
Yeah.
reflect and to connect and to sing the mantras, and to, we had this Sunday yesterday, yeah, yesterday we did a live day, and of course the sadhanas is beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but doing sadhana live and hear all the voices when you sing, and that's
Yeah.
so beautiful because we
Just
don't do the
feel all
singing,
the vibrations and
we
like
feel
and
it.
more
Yeah,
like all the
yes,
energy even like
right,
around you.
yes, yes. So, and then when you do we started out with the japti, or with the Waheguru first, and then when you hear all the different voices, that was really powerful.
Yeah.
So, but when in 2018 it was, um, I went again to that festival in Europe, and I already that time you saw more on more places like local festivals, I was like, I think the Netherlands is ready for a festival. I felt like, we need to connect as yoga
Yeah.
teachers and should create something like that. So I put up a message on Facebook and I said, I think this is a good idea. Who's in? And then everyone was like, let's do this. And I was like, oh, okay, I started something.
Now I have to go for it.
Now what? What's the next step? So I met someone from Austria who was the leader from that festival. So I asked her, what do I do? I need to organize a festival here in the Netherlands. And she gave me the tips. She said, you have to get yourself a team around you. And these are the tasks the people that you need and the tasks that they need to give. So started doing that. I said, okay, I need these kind of people, and what do you want to do? And so I wasn't taking any task on myself. I was giving all the tasks to other persons and really make them responsible, give them the responsibility, trust, like what I did with you. If you say you do it, why would I doubt that you do it? If you say you want to do it, you love doing it, do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to
Yeah.
support you. And that's what I think a leader is,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
give them the trust and you give them the support, you tell them, and check if everything is clear.
Mm-hmm.
And if they
Mm-hmm.
feel like I can do this, then, I'm your biggest fan. And I'm really, if there's something that you need, I'm supporting you, and I'm really grateful for that, the part that you're doing. So, and if we can lead like that, then
Yeah.
people really feel empowered, and you don't need to control. You can really, and
No
then
micromanagement. No.
no, not all of that, none of it. And people, and if you open it, create a space where people feel safe, they can say, I need this. If you want me to do this, I need
Yeah.
this and this and this. And then you can discuss, you can say, okay, some things is possible, some things, or you will work together towards it. But empowering yourself as a leader to dare to trust the other persons and to let go of your baby, and to share that baby. And that's like really what I try to write in my book. And yeah, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
what's in that book, and that's the work that really gives me the most satisfaction, because when I share my teachings with them, they can implement it, and
Yeah.
then it impacts so many people. Because
Yeah.
when leaders are really leading from that point of view, from a human point of view, from their heart, and empowering their people, that's like, yeah, like
Yeah. And you have
magic.
even, if you would be truly like that, you could even have no fights anymore.
Yeah,
No, no, yeah, no disbalance and disbalance.
no,
Just
it's
open communication and no judgments. Like um, honesty. Like you could see through all the things as well. But
yeah,
well, it's
yeah,
basically life. So people think like a yogi is like, oh, it's like all too spiritual, but no, it's not. It's actually just simple life, practical, like day to
right,
day
right.
thinking, day to day behavior,
Yes,
like
yes.
communication. Like that has also this yoga study right now. It's just like, wow, it feels so complete for me. It's just the
Mm,
whole lifestyle
right,
spectrum of it, not just
right.
eating and physical activity. No, like more, like all your
There's a,
different
yes,
minds you were just talking about already, like, and then the aura, the radiance, the everything to just stand strong in yourself. And if you would have asked me if I could do this like a couple of years ago, I was like freaking out, and now I'm just like sitting here in my, well, I'm sitting here in my yoga room in my, oh, my comfortable sheep skin
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
yoga mat. But um, I've I also learned in my yoga teachings that it's the nabi you have to focus on, your navel,
Right.
you have to feel grounded, and when you feel grounded, there
Yeah.
doesn't have to be these nerves or shaking voice. I mean, normally it would be shaking right now, but now it's like I'm just sitting here listening, truly here, and yeah, and that can be applied anywhere. Well, in business, in every meeting, like feeling grounded, feeling like, oh wait, what is this now, my ego who wants to grab this, or is it just, do I really want this, or is this really what I want to say, and where we have to head towards?
Right.
And it can
Right.
be super beneficial, especially at work, especially, well,
Yes.
everywhere, of course, but like we are now
Yeah.
focusing on
In
that
your,
part. But
yes, or in your relationships.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yes. So
um,
yeah, no, that's,
it
you
gives you
know,
tools to reflect as well, and yeah,
yeah,
forgive and say sorry and forgive yourself.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's when one of my, students or client or the, she's a teacher as well, and she's bringing on the teachings to her little kids at school. And she said the other day, there was some guy, some boy, he was really like pointing out to all the other kids, and then they did that and they did that. And she was like, when you do like this, you point out, there are three fingers pointing towards you. So, they're not going to
Hmm.
change, or
Yeah,
you're not going to change them. So you can change yourself. Try at least, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
True. That's all you
it's
can do.
it's
You have to let go of the expectations of the behavior of others. I mean, you cannot control them. You cannot only
yes, yes.
be
Be
with
the leader
yourself.
of yourself. That's
Yeah,
really,
that's part one probably of the book. I think I should read it first.
yes. Read it. Yeah, yeah. If you want to, you can. I will put down the link where you can
Oh
download
yeah.
the first chapter, and you can read it. But yes, it's, and also I also wrote another book.
Yeah.
This is called Bye Bye Stress in 9 minutes or less.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that contains like these are the meditations that I came across when I was still working. And you do 3 minute exercises of each 3 minutes, and then you feel totally different. You can recharge yourself, renew yourself, rejuvenate. And so these were my go-to meditations.
Yeah.
And I felt like, if we can use
Low
that,
threshold. Yeah.
yeah. And during work, or during the day, sometimes you just feel like you need a break, and this can be a total effective break. It's like a short holiday. It takes you 15 minutes, but it's not just sitting. They're quite challenging, but when you do them, it totally changes how you feel and how you think and how you see the world, because the world won't change, but you can look at the world through different eyes. And I feel this is how, what, for me at least, what the yoga is. You can see the world, but through different eyes. You can look at things, yeah, that are maybe
Yeah.
painful, that happened in your past or happening right now, and you can look at it and
Yeah.
face it.
Yeah. And even like for us, I can probably also talk for you. I mean, there are still moments that we are like, that we feel stuck, that we think like, oh God, like I'm not seeing it, or that we're forcing ourselves to, oh, I have to go back there now, and I'm a yogi, right? No, because like all these experiences, they will
Yeah,
come, and
yeah.
it
It's not
it's just a chance again to be better
right.
every time. But you don't have to be perfect, and that's for me a very important reminder day to day. Like I don't have to be perfect. Like
No,
I will never be perfect because
you
I
already
already
are
am
perfect.
perfect, kind of. Like,
Yes.
uh, yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yesterday,
just practice.
after the meditation, we did 2.5 hour jata gang. So that helps you to cut through all the negativity and to cut through karma and remove the negativity.
A two
And
and a
then
half
we,
hour. What did you do?
it's a special Shabbat. It's called jata gang.
It sounds
It's
familiar. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an
You.
ode to the sword. It's
Hmm.
from Guru Gobind Singh. And this came to me, this practice of doing a 2.5 hour also came in that same year, 2018. So that was a special year
Mm.
for me. It was a funny story because one of my friends at the time, she's a very beautiful musician. She said, "Yeah, let's do a 2.5 hour jatigang." I was like, "Okay." So I looked up the Shabbat. It's 4 lines, and but the repeating line is Jategang, Jategang, Jategang. It's like the ode to the sword.
Uh-huh.
And then before is like really like Tagakanda, Bihandan, Kaladalakandan. It's even harder than Japji, kind of, when you hear it for the first time. I was like, okay, good. So you do the music? She said, yes. And someone else would also come for the music. So they would like do the music. But then there were like, I think 10 people in the room, but the two musicians didn't show up. And I was playing harmonium at the time. I was like, I practiced a little bit. So I was like, okay, so they're not here, so I will do it. And after 2.5 hours, I had a beautiful melody and I knew a little bit about words. But the experience, like, we don't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
And together as a group, we learned and we went through it and we we had a really good experience. So that was like, we should do this more often so we can practice. So then I went on tour with the Jate Gang. So I went through all different kind of yoga studios in the Netherlands and abroad.
Oh, cool.
I've
Yeah.
been doing this, yeah, since then. So, but I used to play it all by myself on my harmonium, sometimes with a tabla player. But for this one, I had a guitar player. I had someone on my harmonium because I'm just learning to play the harp. So I was playing on the harp, and we also had a percussion. So I was like, wow. I was taken care of. The music was taken care of, and I was
Yeah.
like, you can see the progress when you keep on doing something longer time. Then when you look back, you see the progress, and I think this is also something that when you do something daily, like brushing your teeth, like doing sadhana. It's just something that you do. You
Yeah.
don't think about it,
Yeah.
and y- it the more it can become something that we don't need to think about. It's just that we do it.
Hmm.
You meditate, and in the morning you meditate when you go before going to bed, and maybe during the day you also find a moment, when you feel stressed out or you feel,
Oh,
you
before
just,
lunch, like link it to
yeah,
like an
yeah,
activity that you always do. Like that has helped very helpful for me
yes,
to
yes,
have these
I've
like
done.
three moments of the day.
Yeah, yeah, I've had a long time. I did like a lunchtime business yoga breaks. So yeah, we can start that again.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then, if you do like these 9-minute meditations during that time, because usually I have a little dip around that time.
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
just if you do it before that time, it resets your day, and like, then your everything can happen between that.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking care of your own self and your soul, and this is, no one else can do that for you. That's really what I learned when I had my second burnout, and I was in this program, and he said, yeah, you got to do this and that, and I was like, I know from the inside this is not, if I don't do it, it's not gonna work. So also, like the call to become a yoga teacher, not just, go to classes a week. I was like, yeah, I know if I start classes, I will do maybe until I feel better again. But then I would stop again. And then I somewhere intuitively knew that, this is something you have to stick to. So better become a teacher than you have to do it every day, and,
Right.
you have to
Yeah.
learn it.
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
I know many people who also do the Kundalini yoga teacher training. They don't do it to become a teacher,
No,
um, but they do it for
that
their
was
own.
not my initial start of it,
No,
but
no,
something switched like pretty quick already.
yeah,
That I saw
yeah,
myself
but
like that. But
yeah,
still,
but
yeah,
it's
it just
it
lessons
helps.
for your life.
Yeah, and if you can help
Yeah.
other people with that just by your practice, that's, I think, beautiful, and that's something that your soul takes with you. We can't take our money, our homes, our family, but we can
No.
take
Yeah.
what we've given and what the legacy that we have left. So I remember
Yeah.
during one of these level 2 weeks, or, just if you know how to die, you know how to live. And that's something that really stuck with me and
Okay. Yeah.
helped me to step into that bigger part of me,
Mm-hmm.
because we all have this smaller part within us and
Mm.
also this bigger. But if I remind myself of that question, what is it? What is my legacy? And then, like this morning before this our call, I was talking to a yogi from Australia, and she says, I'm using your business yoga techniques and people love it. And I'm like, wow, on the other side of the earth, they're doing,
Yeah.
I'm inspiring people. And that's really like, yeah, I think also the beauty of this online, and we're all connected, that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we can really, and
And it's from
yeah,
your home. You can start it from your home. It's easy. Like you just get
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and it's
You
not that you
don't
have
need
to
to
commute.
travel.
So
Yes, yes,
yeah,
because when
it
I
has its
started,
advantages, and of course, like we just mentioned with the mantras, it's more powerful when you're physically together. But it's
yeah,
at least a lower threshold now, which
right,
preps you for a weekend like in you had yesterday, or go
yes.
to a retreat somewhere early because you're like, yeah, I do this every day, or
Yeah, then you're already kind of prepared. And
yeah,
then when you are together, you really feel the power of that
yeah,
being together. And then when you go back online, you still have that with you. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
thank you.
would like
Wow,
to
we've been,
invite everybody to come
yeah.
join us in the morning at least.
Yes. Yes. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. So thank you so much for this beautiful talk. It
Yeah,
was
thank you too. This is
nice
inspiring.
to share.
Great to get to know more about your books and your courses and everything you offer, and like, yeah, learning more about each other.
Yes, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
stepping in. So when I'm not there, sometimes Laura teaches, and another teachers that want to step in and want to also have that experience. If your soul tells you, the holidays are coming up, so we have
Right.
more
Yeah.
opportunities to step in. So just reach out, and we just continue this flow of being there together in the morning and
Absolutely.
uplifting ourselves and each other. So
Oh, sorry?
to uplift ourselves and each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so thank you. And I'll give you a
Yeah.
big hug. That's how we always end, right? We
Yeah, that's
end
how
with
we
a big
all finish our
virtual.
morning calls.
Yeah.
Morning sadhana.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time, for your inspiration, for your being.
Thank you as well.
And we'll talk again. We'll see each other tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See you
Maybe you
tomorrow.
come for the Waheguru now,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
huh?
Last
Oh,
week it worked out for the whole week for me, but
yeah.
it not always does.
It's what it is.
Sure.
Don't judge yourself. It's
Yeah.
you are there when you're there. And then your presence, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Sounds good.
much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Satnam. Thank you.
Satnam.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.